Welcome to WhatGear Reviews, tech reviews coming to you from rainy old England. And instead of me doing my usual camera comparisons out here in the forests and stuff like that, I'm on my way to a place where the sun is always shining. The sands are golden and the skies are clear. And what's going to make this video very interesting is that I'm using two different phones with two top tier chipsets. It is the Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max with the A15 Bionic chipset versus a device that's basically half the price. It's the Xiaomi Mi11t Pro. And the reason I bring up the chipsets is because I'm on my way to the Qualcomm Tech Summit where they announced the latest cutting edge smartphone tech for 2022. So I will be taking photos and videos along the journey so you guys can see how a phone half the price stacks up to a phone double the price in the iPhone. So I'm now here in Hawaii and you'll never guess what. It's only bloody raining. So what better way to kick off this photo comparison than with an offering to the goddess of Hawaii's volcanoes. And as I pulled out my phones to snap this photo, this dude in this electric car proper photobombed me. But anyway, let's look at the differences here in this very green photo. In the Mi11t Pro picture, you'll notice all the shadows have been lifted and this is brightening up the image overall. And if we look at the iPhone photo, you'll notice it's much warmer and the dark shadows actually add the perception of more depth. And this could be a good thing. In terms of details, they're very close on both devices, despite the differences in megapixel count. And it's quite a significant difference. We've got 108 megapixels on the Mi11t Pro and just 12 megapixels here on the iPhone. Anyway, let me know which one you like the best and let's move on to picture 2. Okay, so here is an iced Mai Tai, and as you can see, we have lots of warm tones in this picture, lots of oranges and brown shades, and you'll also notice there's quite a strong backlight in the background of the photo. And generally, when there's a strong light source in a photo like this, a phone with bad high dynamic range will make the foreground very dark to try and compensate for that bright backlight. But you'll notice we don't really see that here, and that's because both of these phones have great HDR. They're so close in fact that I think we're going to have to zoom in post editing to get a closer look. So you'll notice the Mi11t Pro's 108 megapixel sensor might actually have the advantage here when it comes to details. You can really see the bubbles in the drink and the condensation droplets on the outside of the glass very clearly. And you'll notice the iPhone's actually doing pretty good here too, but one area it's doing better than the Mi11 is on the pineapple. You'll notice there's better details there, and this is likely due to the difference in the lens technology that's in front of the sensors. So I must say, considering the difference in price, I didn't think it was going to be this close. Let me know which one you think's better. And here's picture 3. So this is a cool one, lots of blue tones here, and we have that white Snapdragon Summit hashtag sign in the foreground. And this one was taken on the ultra wide lenses on the two cameras, so the quality is going to be slightly lower than what we get from the primary lens, and that's pretty normal. I must say both phones do pretty well here, but once again you'll notice a slightly brighter image on the Mi11t Pro. And on the iPhone this time we're kind of seeing a blue hue right across everything, and I think I know why. I think in Apple's camera AI it's detecting the blue sky there and adding extra blue tones, and this is actually spilling over to the grass and the Snapdragon sign. That's why everything kind of appears to have this blue hue. So in this one, the Mi11t Pro seems to be the more natural picture in my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know which one you think's better. And I think I've been speaking far too much now, so I'm just going to roll a few photos and then we'll get straight into the side-by-side video comparisons. You're definitely going to want to see those. first off, let me say thank you for making it this far into the video. If you're enjoying the video so far, a thumbs up would be amazing, and if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. Anyway, here's night picture 1. This was shot in incredibly low light, and surprisingly the iPhone's 12 megapixel sensor seems to be gathering more light even with the smaller megapixel count. Or maybe it's not, and it's just using AI to brighten up the image in post-processing. But is this being delivered at a cost? So what do you think? I think they have similar details, but Apple's post-processing AI is definitely making a difference here in my opinion. But do you think that makes it a better picture? Anyway, let's move on. Picture 2. So this one has some artificial lights in the shot, and it's always interesting to see how phones handle these lights, because a long exposure would typically blow the lights out completely in a photo. But you can see both phones actually perform really well, and the iPhone does appear to handle the light bulbs a little bit better than the Mi11t, but the overall image appears to be a bit darker and there's quite a lot of magenta in the photo. And the Mi11t Pro has compensated for the warm orange tones coming off of those light bulbs, and it's done this by adjusting the white balance, with the result being a cooler blue tone in the sky, and the white walls in the foreground of the picture actually appear to be white and not orange. So in the first picture, the Mi11t Pro seemed to be the more natural one, and in this picture the Mi11t Pro is actually doing more work than the iPhone when it comes to AI, which is pretty interesting. But let me know which one you like better. And here's picture 3. And now in this one I was back to rainy old England. It seems like I can never escape the rain. But anyway, this was just before Christmas, and I'm not going to comment too much on this one. I'll leave it to you guys to discuss. But I will say I personally prefer the Mi11t Pro picture here, and I'll let you guess why. And in the next few pictures, don't forget to leave your comments, because I'm very interested to hear your opinions on the night modes. So what did you guys think? Is the iPhone 13 Pro Max that's twice the price, twice as good when it comes to camera? Or is the Mi11t Pro the uncrowned king and deserve the title flagship killer? Let me know in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this one and you just subscribed, you are now one of the finest subscribers known to man. And I will see you guys in the next one. So don't be late.